Also, if I'm going out in camping, I can pretty much put this LED on like the pillar of my car. It sticks due to the magnets and it really provides a really nice kind of light around it. Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to a brand new video. So hope you guys are having amazing days, guys. Back again with a DIY project for you guys. In today's project I will be showing you how to build yourself a DIY LED setup for like working on your car, for like camping or etc. Of course you can buy this pretty easily, but I had few parts lying around, so I decided to do a DIY project myself. So the parts you are looking in this video are pretty simple, to be honest. The first thing is the LEDs. Now these are the LEDs used inside the interior of your car. They consume very less electricity and plus they're pretty cheap. I use 3 of these, which you will see in later on in the video the reason. The second thing on the list is the wire. Now of course I use the 12 or the secret light adapter. The reason being it will be very easy for me to plug and play, and secondly I don't really have to open the hood and put it on the battery like using the alligator clip, which was the second choice I had. Plus the wire which I have used in this video is like really thick house wire. The reason I have used this kind of wire is because this wire will be lying like in the door jamb, so it won't really get nicked very easily. So that's why I'm using a really thick wire in order to make this LED. The most important part of this project is the LED housing. Now I had this lying around. The main reason for using this are like the magnets on the back. They are very easily mounted onto the body of my car, so that's why. Of course you are going to need some tape in order to close off the connections, and you are going to need a marker. I couldn't find any red marker, so I decided to use the yellow one. But before starting a project, make sure you check the wire and make sure you check the adapter to see which one is the positive, which one is the negative. I already did that, so I don't have to worry about that. So first I had image in my mind that I could really wire all 3 LEDs on the front hand side, but it wasn't really possible because there was not enough space. And one thing I would like to share with you guys is make sure to put a glass on top of these LEDs, because like the intensity is quite a lot, but the light is going to go everywhere and it's going to hurt your eyes. So like putting a glass on top of it is going to make it focused towards the subject. Like if you are working inside the engine bay, like if you're changing the spark plugs, the light will not go everywhere. Instead it will be focused towards the subject. So after pretty much mounting these LEDs, I did the wiring. I did the very hack kind of job in terms of wiring. Of course you can make it better, you can put like heat shrink, but basically I just combine the reds and the blacks so I can easily like wire it to the power source. Of course the wires of the LEDs were like really thin, and the wire which I'm using to mount this LED is like really thick, like the home wiring. So it was quite a challenge for me to really put these together, but after that I ended up putting some tape. Another tip I would like to share with you guys is to make sure to put some super glue on the LED connections, because these LED connections are really fragile. They can come off very easily, so you can try to put some super glue in order to make sure they are nice and steady. So once I was done with like the wiring of the inside, I decided to put some super glue and keep the wires apart. You don't want to use like hot glue, because these LEDs are going to get hot when you plug them in for 3-4 hours, and the hot glue is going to melt very easily. So I ended up using some super glue in order to keep these wires apart, the red and the black one. And to be honest, I ended up putting super glue on my nails, on my fingers, and on the table, so it was quite a job trying to remove it from everywhere. So the reason why I ended up mounting the third LED on the lower side is I couldn't really find any space on the front hand side, I told you guys. And the second was I really wanted to keep some light on the lower side also, because when I mounted this light onto my car, it was like most of the light was passing through a straight line, but the lower side of the LED housing was quite dark, so that's why I decided to put one LED on the lower side. I couldn't really wire the third LED with like the other ones which were inside, because I told you guys the wires were quite short. So once I was done mounting the LED on the lower side, I ended up using the connection from the outside, because the wires were pretty fragile, I told you guys. Plus the wires were quite short, so I couldn't wire it with the other LEDs, so I decided to hack into the wires again and mount it outside. One problem that occurred right here was after I did tape all the connections, the wires were not really flush with the LED housing, due to which they were not sticking to my car. So because of which I had to melt some of the casing away. Now I used a pretty new knife in order to do this kind of job. This ruined the knife completely because I burned the knife, but it ended up fixing this problem, so I can easily tuck in the wires without any kind of issue. So basically now the wires were pretty flush with like the housing of the LED. Of course, another point to note right here is you can put some hot glue or something on top just to make the job a little bit clean, but for me the most important part was it should work, and I used super glue because that was pretty much lying around at that time. So once everything was done, here is the final product. As you can see, it isn't the best kind of project you have seen. You can clean it up the way you like, but so after mounting it onto my hood of my car, it was super easy for me to work on the engine bay because the light was quite focused. I told you guys the light wasn't really going everywhere, and secondly, the lower LED helps a lot if you are doing something deep inside the engine bay. Also, if I'm going out in camping, I can pretty much put this LED on like the pillar of my car. It sticks due to the magnets, and it really provides a really nice kind of light around it because the lower side is also covered due to the lower LED. So what I would really say is, for under $5 to $6, to be honest, I didn't really have to spend $5-6. The only money I had to spend was, I think, $1 or so. I think this is a really great project. Of course, you can buy these kind of LEDs off the shelf. They are pretty cheap, but making one yourself is quite exciting, and also you can gain some experience from it. You can use like heat shrink and some covers in order to properly cover everything, but for me the main purpose was it should work, and I've been using it quite a lot. And especially this kind of LED setup is great if you are out somewhere, you have to change your car tire. So having a torch like this laying around is really nice. I can put it to the floor without any kind of problem, and the great part is it sticks everywhere. Any place where there's metal, it's going to stick due to magnets. One thing to note right here is it can really put a scratch on your car, so use a tissue between like the paintwork and this LED in order to protect your car paintwork. Especially my car is in black color, so you can almost see every scratch, so I have to be extra careful with these kind of setup. So anyways, I think if you have any questions, then let me know in the comment section below. I will try my best to link all the products which I have used in this video inside the description. So with that being said, like the video if you like it. If you're new, consider subscribing or become a part of this channel. And thanks for watching, and goodbye.